What's the old adage? You wait around 35 years for a movie-accurate cup, and then two come along at once. I'll tell you what happened with this with me. Gear for Geeks in the UK, a great online shop. They have a physical presence in the high street, but they're a little bit far from me. Anyway, online they were doing a great deal. $12.99 for this cup and also the blur that I got, so I snapped them up. However, as soon as I got this in hand, I realised something that I didn't realise through the online shots. I didn't look really closely. But this just seemed wrong to me as soon as I had it in hand. I went online, started looking at people's opinions of this figure, and then came across the fact that there's another version. Someone's review mentioned the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Kup, which is basically the same mould with an update. This came out in 2021. I believe this is 2022. I had just overlooked it. You know, I thought Studio Series, great. This is the packaging I'm looking for. The movie tie-in figures, done and dusted. I don't need to keep an eye out for anything else. What's this Buzzworthy thing? Probably not relevant to me, but apparently they are. This is the 86 movie as well, and this is a much better rendition. The reviewer was saying this, and I agree. They fixed the chest plate for it. So just a word to the wise, if you are doing these Studio Series figures, they may well be bringing out revisions very quickly, and you've got to be aware of that. So it happens a lot with modern lines. They try to get you to double dip and get you to pay twice for the same thing. I don't like it. I think this is a good revision, but get it right the first time. Come on, 35 years we've been waiting for this, and you just whiff it straight out of the park and have to do this revision. Well, they got twice the money. However, I did get that for $12.99, so I felt like, right, I can get this because I saved a bit of money with that one, and we can do a compare and contrast video. That's what we're going to do. We're going to unbox them both, look at them both in hand. One thing is worrying me. Could you see the gap on the Buzzworthy leg there? The Buzzworthy Bumblebee Kup has a gap, and I was really worried about this. Is this going to be broken out of the box? But I did some research. It's not there on that one, but you can also see they have the little gaps. Apparently it's not stated in the instructions, but he comes apart, like, so you can reproduce the thing in the movie where he gets pulled to pieces and Hot Rod puts him back together.
Fix me. Sure, Kup. Right away.
Anyway, without further ado, let's get these unboxed and test them out, see how they look in person. It's weird how a deco, a change of paint, can make characters seem so different. And the way he's in the box, he seems much bigger, right? And broader at the shoulders than this guy. But we'll see in person, close up. That's the point of this video. There is some speculation on the Transformers wiki when I was looking up the figure and the Studio Series version. The reason this is wrong, the chest piece is wrong, is that the sculpt is based on a fan picture of Kup that has been doing the rounds on Instagram for years. Now, why would that happen rather than you taking reference shots from the actual movie? I don't know why we would use that, but it's an explanation for why his chest piece just, it doesn't appear like that in the movie, and why you would do it. The backdrop is also different in this one. In the original, in the Buzzworthy Bumblebee, the diorama that you get with it, the backdrop I should say for the stand, is Autobot City, and I kind of like this. It's a little bit more distinct, the squid attack from the movie. Alright, let me just put that there for now, bring him center. I didn't have a look at the back of the box. I've always thought Kup's robot mode suits his like slightly clapped out, slower, older personality, a little bit more ponderous. He's a pickup truck. Kup struggles to free himself from the tentacles of a giant squid. Yeah, that does happen in the movie. Doesn't tell us anything about his character. I really miss the tech specs and all that stuff. It's not like it was in the olden days, but he also has his candy dispenser to mollify, what are they, Sharkticons that come out of the water. Alright. I mean, he does look very cool. It's just the chest. It's like, what happened there, guys? What happened there? And there's a lot more. I did notice there's a lot less plastic packaging in the Buzzworthy Bumblebee package as well. They're really trying to cut down on that stuff. I'm just curious how these figures are going to come to us in the future. Now there is so much concern about plastic waste. Right, I've got to be careful with this. Don't want to scuff my action figure. He's really well secured in there. Come on, you turbo revving young punk. I'm not that young anymore, Kup. Probably about as old as you were meant to be in the movie. That's not possible. It's sort of possible. Human age, you know. We're not thousands of years old. Out you come. Oh, he's a lot smaller than Predecessor. That's the other one that I've already unboxed in this sort of mini series of studio series stuff. Oh, I like him. Actually, I like him. I like the frame of him a lot better than the Predecessor one that I've just got. I'll link it up there if you want to see my unboxing of that one. Hold on. I'm going to change camera angles. This feels a little bit more like it. Honestly, this is more of like what I was expecting by getting hold of modern Transformers. More articulation, although I liked the Predecessor. He still felt, and still seems to me, quite immobile and not very versatile in terms of posing. But this guy, can we twist his arm? Oh, we can't twist his wrist joints. But it just oh, there you go. That's popped off. So they have a tendency to pop off when you don't. Oh, okay. So that's not secured on very tightly at all. All right, so he's got all right, let's look at what you can pose with this guy. Predecessor, stop hogging the limelight. Get out here. So we've got good articulation in the middle, sideways articulation there, and that leg is going to pop off. That's interesting. I'm wondering always with it's a failure point. It's that parlance in Transformers collecting. It's a potential area where the figure over time is going to become less sturdy because, well, you know, the plastic warps and changes. That's very loose. That's very loose compared to that one. Not sure. I mean, I'm not going to be playing around with them an awful lot, but still. Anyway, bend in the middle, belt, good swivel, all sorts of swivels in the arm. They seem to get the arms right. Everyone has that arm. That is very loose. That's like well easy to come out. But yeah, like I was saying, this is more the kind of thing I was thinking when you compare it to the original Transformers. Like, it looks so much like the movie and feels like there's no way that can turn into a car. It's too thin. The limbs are too shapely. It's too much like this is a well-designed robot. But no, it does transform into a car. The original ones were more like this is a car and this is the best representation of a robot we can get if we want to transform from this car into a robot. Another thing that the later revision changed, we'll see better when we open Buzzworthy Bumblebee Kup, is the dead eyes. He just looks, I don't think, now that I've got them out of the package, that they are blue. I thought they were black. They're not black, but they're very, very dark blue. They look dead. It looks like he's got the dead eyes. All right, where are my instructions for transforming him? He's got a little bit of junk on the backpack, which they, you know, with the transformations and stuff, that's often where they pile all the stuff, the additional bits that you need to form the car. RC, who is coming out for the studio series, is also is probably the biggest culprit for that at the minute. She's just got a massive, it's not even a backpack, it's just a big chunk of metal on her back, and it just looks ugly, particularly with such a slender character, and a little bit of it with Kup here. These legs are wobbly as well. I like the feature. I like the feature of him coming to pieces and you being able to reproduce that scene. But, I mean, honestly, who's going to display them like that? These are generally for adult collectors, and it just makes it more dicey in the future that it's going to fall to bits. All right, let me have a look. We keep this... I'll try and transform this guy first. Shoot, has he got less steps than... How many steps is it? 21, and Perceptor was 20. So they're holding my hands a little bit at first. All right, I'm going to have a go at this, and then I'll get back to you. When he's a car, he'll... 3, 2, 1, car. Bing, there you go. So that is the first failure. I had to check a video online, and first breakage, I snapped his arm off trying to transform him. A significantly more difficult transformation from my point of view than Perceptor. Only one extra step, but much more fiddly. So much so that I think I'm going to struggle to transform him back from this angle. So I'm leaning over my camera. But yeah, it's worth noting, isn't it, that even though this is great, that truck mode is really cool compared to the robot mode. It's almost... each transform is a feat of engineering in itself. It's not perfect, you know, as evidenced by they got the windshield wrong. They got the colours, I think, broadly wrong on Kup. And also, he's not rolling on wheels there. He's scraping along his chest when you roll him along the ground. So I don't think it's going to be very long before all of this underneath of the toy is scuffed. So if that's important to you, bear it in mind about playing with this toy if you're going to be messing around with it too much. All right, I'm going to do my usual thing of time-lapsing. I'll go from this mode to robot mode and back, if I can possibly do it. So the first thing I noticed was the final stages here with the legs is pretty difficult. So bring the feet out like that and break all this bit apart. We have to pull these fists away from the, what do you call it, the back of the truck, tailgate. Look, everything's very stiff on this. You know, once it's, I mean, it's good that it's got some purchase in there. It's not gonna, the robot mode isn't gonna fall to pieces, but still, it's like hard to unwedge it. Twist it, there we go. All right, so his arms are like tucked underneath there. We have to separate all this piece. We do both legs at once. This is going to take significantly longer than it took me last time. I'm not exactly sure why I'm doing that. I think it allows these bits to tab away because they're like folding bits. Pull that part of his leg out of the tab on the corner there. You know, it's a good job I'm not collecting this line and wanting to keep them pristine, because you have to really use some elbow grease at certain points. Let's do one leg first. So that one clips down there like that, or should do. Should it? So back into like robot mode with that leg, and then that can clip down there. See what I mean? Much more fiddly. There we go. I think that's it. You know, it doesn't fit snugly. It's like sticking up at the edge. Then you think you've got something wrong, but I think that is how it's meant to go. That's the downside when things are engineered so precisely. When something is a bit awkward or not working properly, you think it's something you're doing wrong, but no, that is how it's supposed to work, and you just have to apply some pressure. Like there, we just pull it away. It's all pretty new to me. There we go. So that's the thing that clips underneath there. Maybe that goes in first. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. Like that, and then that clips down there. Or does that go first? And then we do that. Hold on. Something clips in there. It's that. And then that goes down like that. I believe. Like that. That's it. Those are the legs. So, you know, it's all a learning curve for me because really I've not transformed Transformers for 35 years. There's his head. Peers out, and this is the bit that, not this bit. It just folds back in together. That's pretty straightforward, it seems to me. Does that go in there? Hold on. Gotta put the wheels back. Then do that. Then do that. And these bits are the buggers. Once these arms are folded in, they are really hard to get back out. So you kind of pull that around. Can't even remember which way it's meant to go here. That way. I should have adjusted the camera first. And there you go. He's sort of... Sorry, Kup. He's sort of transformed. And there are all these little pegs that I think can potentially hold things in place better. Is there something underneath that will... Yeah, there you go. It's like I push it really hard. There you go. There you go, there you go. Alright, and I forgot his leg going back into robot mode. He's got wonky feet. Jeez, what's going on? He feels lopsided to me. Feels, and there's that arm again. All right, so that's Kup transform from car to robot. I am in two minds about it so far. I feel like there are elements of genius. It's not hard to turn a character that looks like this. It's not easy to turn a character that looks like this into a car, but by the same token, it's very fiddly and prone to, and there's some unnecessarily forceful joints and things that need to be done, in my opinion. And this, I'm sure if if you're a kid, you want to play with them, that's a great play feature, but to me it just looks like a feature that's going to fall off and make the character less sturdy in the long run. There we go, there's a bit there where we can clip the backpack in a little bit better. That's the transformation. I'll tell you what, I'll try and do Bumblebee from robot to car. Buzzworthy Bumblebee Kup. Actually, it's worth mentioning just before I look at the other Kup, it's ankle joints. I think it is important. I don't think everything needs ankle joints, not specifically ankle joints, but having more than just the knee and the swivel at the hip just gives you so many more options just with that little swivel. And it's only like a, what do you call that? He's swiveling on the x-axis, no other direction there. But I mean, you can twist it in the middle and do that. So you can get a sort of a pose if you work on it a little bit. I do like the accessories as well. I mean, the gun is modelled as accurately as you would expect. Hard to get that wrong. But this is a welcome addition, an unusual addition. It looks kind of weird, looks more like a communicator because of the way he's holding it. But I suppose it's quite hard to have him holding a little chip of energy like he was in the movie.
Now, without making any sudden moves, Offer them an energon goodie.
So let's see what revisions they've made here. I'm interested in seeing if they've changed any of those annoying transformation elements that were a cause for issues for me, certainly, and made those, particularly the shoulder joints, if they've made those a little easier to turn. And what about the scraping underneath the body? They could have changed that stuff. Or is it just the chest piece? We'll just change the chest piece and put him in some different packaging. Buy him again, please. Alright, so we do have a running change here. This is cardboard rather than the plastic tray. I think they're slowly, it's a bit inconsistent in terms of what lines are including it and which aren't. The no package, the less plastic packaging and stuff. See if it says any different on here. As the Insecticons munch into Autobot City, Kup speeds inside, rolling over kickback in the process. Yeah, well, at least that's a little bit more specific to something that happened in the movie. And what it said on the other one. It's just so weird that they would release this figure and then release a revision so quick. So the same accessories, but I can immediately see the gun is a different colour. It's not white. And if you look closely, I'm pretty sure, let me have a look. Yeah, he is darker. He's darker for sure. The plastic on this guy is a darker plastic. This is closer to the actual Kup plastic. I think that's exactly the same picture, exactly the same backdrop that was with Perceptor. So I do prefer the squid backdrop. It's a shame to have lost that in the revision. Seems like a strange decision. Let's get this guy out. So his arm is already detached. Interesting. Why would that be? Free you, my friend, and we shall see if you are better than your counterpart. You know, it's often the way when they do make supposed improvements, one thing improves and something else goes wrong. You know, I'm not a complete cynic, but I think I'm not being cynical. I'm just being realistic. If you mess around with things, sometimes you can miss something else. Did I take your flipping foot off? There you go. I thought I'd done that. You're out, sunshine. Just get out of there. All right. You stay there, my friend. All right. And I'll have a look. The thing that I'm worried about is that leg. Just stay there for 1 second while I adjust my camera. Thank goodness for adjustable tripods. So on this version, that leg is incredibly... That one is a bit stiffer. Yeah, it's potluck. Potluck with these. It's just a decision that is always going to be weird. It might work, it might not work. They're okay. They're okay. They're not going to slip out, but when you're transforming him and stuff, there's always going to be an option that something is going to go wrong with that particular design decision. But yes, he looks better too. Actually, I'm not sure if it shows up on camera because of my weird lighting. I have the main house light on and a kind of a spotlight. But let me just take this guy's weapons away, the other Kup, and stand them next to each other so we can actually compare and contrast closely here and see if there's any differences that we can see in terms of the size, the height of the guys, how they stand. I think I did something weird when I was transforming. He seems lopsided now. The Kup on the right. This guy. So there they are side by side. It's really hard to tell. I feel like he looks more broad-shouldered. He has a... Have you seen the little scratches here? Like little almost cartoon black lines. suggesting what? I think it works here, scratches on the windscreen. I'm not sure why there are additional scratches here and here. I'm not sure they quite work. I'm liking this better. A lot better so far. Why are you weird? Why are you... Did I not clip your legs back in properly? What did I do? I mean, it's worth me fussing over this stuff, because you can see me fussing. You think, well, how fiddly is it really? That looks like Kup from the movie to me. All right. So, the moment of truth. I'm not going to time myself for this, but let's see what the differences are in terms of his transformation. I don't think there's any differences in articulation that I can see. It feels a little different. His arms feel stiffer. They feel chunkier. I'm not sure if it's an optical illusion, you know. All right, yeah, and that's grey compared to the black of that one. It's just, this is brighter, a little bit more vibrant. The eyes go a long way to making the one on the left seem more like the character from the movie. And just that windscreen is just a absolute essential change that they needed to do to make a Kup that actually looks like his movie counterpart. You're out of focus, my friend. So, okay. Transformy time. First things first, the most annoying bit, arms up, like that, and then applying pressure. This is what I snapped. I snapped that off, pulled the arm out from the little gap in there on the other one. Yeah, it's still stiff as hell. I can't even remember if I'm pushing it the right way. There you go. In that direction. And then this one, same again. Oh, that's easier. That's a lot easier. Just push there with it. Let's try that again. Yeah, that one doesn't do it. Sorry, I nearly swore then. This one, just a little push and it works. That one, sort of. This a bit better. I mean, it could be me just learning how to do it. Let's try it with the other Kup. All right, so there. And then all right, I think I'm getting the hang of it now. All right, we can do it. We've got it. So that's not actually a change with the new one. It's just how you do it, where you apply the pressure. That's really hard to know, and I have to say the instructions suck. They're absolutely useless. Thank goodness for YouTube. I had to watch, I can't remember the guy's name, big like transformer guy. He transforms people. All right, so I mean, I'm not putting the, let's stop the clock because this is going to take me forever. Settle in, I'm having a drink of coffee. Right, what's next? That down, that opens. Quite fiddly. I think this is the price you pay. Maybe I've said this before, or I was just thinking it and I didn't say it. But I think this is the price you pay for a more ergonomic and less blocky character. Like I was saying, Perceptor looks chunky, but he was easy to transform and dead straightforward. And this guy is not. He's a lot more complicated. So you have to like bend him, and that should go over there. Kup, is there something I'm meant to be doing with your head, mate, that I'm not doing? There we go. It bends further back. He has to really tuck his head in there. Clip that underneath. Maybe when the arms are out of the way, I can do it. Remember all these Transformers speed transforming competitions when I was little? I would have lost, don't worry. I am aware. Alright, so that's in place. Then we can clip that down. Oh, that's nice and snug. Then, legs. Flip that up. Do this first. Don't know why I have to do that. Why do I have to pull that out and do that? Is it just so that that will fit properly? I don't know, this one feels a little sturdier, feels a little bit more intuitive, but again it could just all be, yeah, it's that. So if this didn't pop forward like that, it wouldn't have the bend to it to get around that corner and form the rear of the transformer. Starting to get the hang of this, starting to understand why it is the way it is. It's an education. It's really fascinating, actually. There's a lot more to it than I remember. But then it was 35 years ago when I was buying Transformers and transforming them. Then maybe, you know, it took me ages to figure it out as a kid. There was no internet back then, so I had to figure it out with the instructions and help from parents, presumably. I seem to remember it just happening by magic. One of the things I don't miss are the stickers. I don't want to spend a lot of time putting stickers on. All right, let's have a look. I'm just looking underneath it. I mean, there's a little bit, but if there's any more clearance there, it's not very much. I'm still worried about rolling him along and scratching his belt. I don't think it would take very long to do it. So I'm happy I've made the purchase. I was annoyed because, look, you see, and I've barely touched that flipping arm and it's coming away. You know, stuff is kept in place with friction. So if you're going to do that friction thing, it's got to be, those joints have got to be tight. I mean, basically you can solve it on your own, can't you? Bit of super glue it in place if it's a real issue for you. And pretty much the only other thing to talk about the accessories. I think the accessories are exactly the same, pretty much. That one is. That's an opaque plastic. I wonder why they didn't make the Energon. If you're going to go to all the effort to make a little Energon dispenser, why wouldn't you make the plastic thing purple, glowy purple like the movie? It's weird what they decide. Sometimes it's weird what they decide to lavish care on, and other stuff that's like, that's fine, just make it grey. Maybe they have a budget for like the number of colours they can use per, you know, just a purple paint application for that little bit of plastic wouldn't be cost effective. That's probably what it is. There you go, Kup and his counterpart. So I think this is going in the collection. This is going on eBay at some point in the future. It's really important to me that the representations of these Studio Series characters are movie accurate. you know, I love the packaging for the mainline Transformers, and I'm not going to take them out of the packaging. But these I'm buying for the accuracy, the novelty of having Transformers the movie accurate Transformers. So this kind of revision I'm glad for, but I wish they would get it right out of the park, because this is clearly the better option. So I guess I've, in a roundabout, very long-winded way, I hope I've answered that question for you. If you're going to go for one of these, go for this one, Buzzworthy Bumblebee version, and keep an eye out for Buzzworthy Bumblebee packaging, because it might very well be the Studio Series movie tie-in figures that you're looking for, and make sure you don't miss them. And just don't worry about the packaging for this particular line. Just go wherever the best sculpt is. All right, that's my look at both Kups in the universe and which one to get. I will, next time, we are going to look at, well, shall we look at Spike? Core Class Spike. It's great that they got him, but again, you can you guess what my complaint is going to be about the face? Or the other one that I've got at the minute is Blur, and I think that is a better first attempt out of the gate, but I wouldn't be surprised if they brought out a revision of him as well. But let me know in the comments if you have a preference for which one I do next. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and make the video. Thanks for watching. I've been Napiet. Hope you're enjoying the vids on the channel. If you haven't yet, sub up, like, talk to me, and let me know what I'm doing is not completely useless to the rest of the world. All right, see you later, guys. Bye.